All right, ready? Mahalo Middle School rented a movie theater for a 7th grade field trip. The theater charges an initial fee for reserving the facility for a private showing and then charges a fee for each person in attendance. Makes sense. When the school initially called, the theater was 120 students and teachers were going to attend. I'm assuming that they're just charging the same amount for the students and the teachers in this case. The quote they got from the number of this many people is $710. At the last minute, however, students turned in their forms, which they always do, and for the actual field trip, 144 students and teachers attended, costing $812. All right, so if I were to make a little table here, this is people, and here's dollars. So 120 people cost $710, and 144 people cost $812. These are actually 2 points. These are 2 coordinates that I can graph. If I wanted to find the slope of that, I would simply do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Or I guess I could do it this way. See, here's the point, is it doesn't matter whether you call this point 1 and this point 2. Actually, I should just call it, yeah. You can call this point 1, this point 2, or this point 2 and this point 1. It's still going to end up being the same when you calculate out the slope. Let's do this. I don't like dealing with negative numbers, so I'm going to call this point 2, and I'm going to put into the equation m equals 8. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's 812 minus 710 over 144 minus 120. I'm going to get 102 over 24. That's what that is. And that's equal to 51 over 12. So that's my slope. It's 51 over 12. Now, using how much it costs per person, how much would it cost for 120 people to attend just the movie? So this is $51 per person. I'm just going to put P as in person. It's $51 per person. Wait, not $51. That's so much money. It's $51, 51 over 12, which is what, about $5 almost? No, not $5, like $4 and something cents. Anyway, you can plug it into your calculator. You can figure it out. Hey, you work on your side. I'll work on my side. All right, so it's $51 over $12 per person. And if you have 120 people, we're taking out the idea that they're charging us money for renting the theater without having any people in the first place. Then if you multiply 51 over 12, 2, times 120 people, I only get $510. So I guess one way I can look at this is I think to myself, I call up, I'm the faculty from the school, and I call up the theater and I say, how much money are you going to charge me per person? And they say, well, we're going to charge you $5 and however much cents, or $4 and however much cents, depending on what 51 divided by 12 is. And I say, all right, fine, I'm going to bring 120 people, and they're going to say, well, that's $710. And I say, wait a second, I calculate that out to be only $51 or $510. How come you're charging me $710? And then what would they say? Well, then they would tell me about this facility renting fee. So if my question to you was, what is the facility renting fee? I can simply subtract 710 minus 510, and I'll get $200. We can do that the other way too. We can say, all right, well, how much would it have cost to have 144 people? So that would be 51 over 12 times 144. Let's see, this divided by that is 12. That is 612. I think so. Let me see. Yeah, 612. So the difference between how much they actually charge us and how much they should have charged us, if they only charge per person, is $200. So that confirms that this idea is $200 for the initial renting fee. Now, what is my y equals mx plus b formula? Well, I know my slope. My slope is 51 over 12. And I know my b is 200. It's saying that I'm going to be charged 51 over $12 per person plus an extra $200 for renting it. That's like the initial, without having any students there, they will charge me $200 if I want to rent out their theater. All right, here's another question. How much would it cost to have 95 people go? So say that you had less. Okay, well, all you would do is you would say, well, this is the cost, right? And this is the people. Maybe I should change this to, what variables do they use? Okay, this is C as a function of P, and this is the variable P. What that means is, here's the cost, that depends on how many people, and here's the people. So if you want 95 people, you just plug in 95 into here. So CP is equal to 51 over 12 times 95 plus 200. Plugging that into your calculator or whatever it is. Actually, I don't even know. I didn't have a calculator on me when I solved this on the bus. You can just plug into your calculator what's 51 times 95 divided by 12 and add 200 to that, and that's the cost. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be, well, it's probably going to be pretty less than $710 because you're dealing with 95 people instead of 120 people. Make sense?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.